Welcome back to the Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another awesome ICE raid in Chicago. There's so many of them to choose from at this point, and we're going to be looking at more Americans trying to get in the way of all these Juans and Marias being arrested and failing to prevent anything, despite the fact that they're trying to literally break federal law to try to help these people who broke into our country illegally to their country illegally. But they don't care about that. They just want to try to obstruct the ICE agents. They think that the ICE agents will go away if they just scream loud enough and blow their stupid whistles, which they've been doing. The so-called rapid response teams, who are not rapid, they're rapidly responding. I'll give them that much, but they're not preventing any deportations. Okay, that's all I can say. And so they're out there trying to give the ICE agents a hard time and actually giving them a hard time. I feel so bad for these agents who are just trying to enforce the federal law, which is their job. But we have open borders people who are trying to stop them from doing that and failing royally.
Well, this block is quiet now, Ravi, but it wasn't the case a few hours ago. That's when ICE agents descended on this neighborhood and several others on Chicago's north side. Video shows ICE agents appearing to deploy tear gas in this north side neighborhood as they detain at least one construction worker from a job site on the block.
They were in here, they handcuffed him here, and then they were cornered here, and they were like, get out. And so he was holding onto the gate like this, and the agent went like that to
Yeah, we're going to deport you back to Korea like that in a second if you keep talking. Don't mess with us. Don't mess with us. Let the ICE agents do their job. Look at this. She got comfortable here. She's living with white people. She thinks that she's one of us. You will never be an American. You're a Korean. Okay? These people, man, if you let them if you give them an inch, they will take a mile and then a couple more miles. Okay? They want to be one of us, but they will never be.
like that to He was so ruthless.
It happened this morning near Henderson and Lakewood in a community that so far has avoided contact with ICE agents.
The tear gas was deployed by ICE without warning and without my neighbors here doing anything to provoke that kind of reaction. No one was interfering.
Oh, no, they didn't. They only tried to prevent ICE agents from arresting these Juans. Okay, they were surrounded by freaking lunatics, open borders idiots who've been watching too much Rachel Maddow and thinks that foreigners get to invade our country without any punishment. You're wrong. Rachel Maddow's wrong, and you're wrong. And Lawson here is also wrong.
Here doing anything to provoke that kind of reaction. No one was interfering with their work, their First Amendment rights. So this is very disturbing.
While federal immigration agents have been making arrests across Chicago for weeks now, the large-scale sweeps have been focused in communities like Little Village, Pilsen, and Albany Park. Neighbors we talked to today say this is the first time they've seen something this widespread in Lakeview.
I try to keep...
I'm not from Chicago, so I don't know. From the buildings and the architecture and the people that I've seen, the quality of the people, it seems like a mostly white, upper class, rich neighborhood. That's why they're saying, oh, we didn't expect it. Trust me, ICE doesn't give a damn about socioeconomic boundaries. We're going to arrest all of your freaking handymen over there. All the slave labor that you guys have been using for years, for decades. Okay? Pay some white women to watch your children. Because we're taking all your nannies, we're taking all your gardeners, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Like, I'm aware of what's going on, like where they at, and it's just, I never thought it would happen right in front of my eyes.
Just hours.
Another nose ring, Mr. America hater. You know they hate America if they have a nose ring, okay? That's just a given. Oh, I didn't think they'd come into my neighborhood. Why? Why in the world would you not think that they would come into your neighborhood? You have federal crimes happening inside your neighborhood. So yeah, ICE is coming. Get ready.
I never thought it would happen right in front of my eyes.
Just hours earlier, neighbors confronted agents shouting at them and blowing their whistles to alert the community as immigration officials detained a man waiting for his pregnant wife outside of the Erie Community Center.
An anchor baby is about to come out. Somebody who is about to drop anchor was being arrested. Oh, they say pregnant wife as if that's going to make a difference. I don't care how pregnant she is. Deport her ass too, so she can't drop anchor here.
This witness, who asked not to be identified, says ICE turned their attention to the man after they could not gain entry into the building located near Paulina and Superior.
At that time, they slammed him against the car. He didn't do anything. He wasn't resistant or nothing.
He did do something. Okay, this black dummy doesn't understand, but he did do something. He invaded George Washington's country. That's a death penalty offense in my eyes. That's not the law right now, but I'd shoot these people at the border if I could. Okay, that would be the law. You don't get to break into my house, and you certainly don't get to break into my country. Okay, that's my point of view. This one's like, oh, he didn't do anything wrong. His existence here is a crime. That's what you don't understand. Okay, that's what all these white people who are whining about this don't understand. These people have committed a grave offense against us, every single real American whose ancestors built this country. The white people who are immigrants here, they don't understand. Their ancestors didn't build this land. So they don't give a shit like, oh yeah, let them in as long as they're legal. I don't care what piece of paper you have. You're not equal to me. You're not equal to people who've been building this country for 400 years, okay, who came here in the 1600s. You're not equal. You will never be equal to us. Never. Because you don't have our blood. You're not descended from those bloodlines. Okay, heritage and ethnicity matters. Okay, despite the lies of the Republicans and the Democrats, ethnicity does matter. Who built this country matters. Okay, it matters to me and all the other foundational Americans. It doesn't matter to immigrants who don't give a shite about this country. But to people who built it, whose ancestors built it, we care about it. We respect our ancestors and we respect what they built here. And random people can't break into our creation.
He didn't do anything. He wasn't resistant or nothing. They punched him in the side a couple of times to get him in the car, and as they got him in the car, they tased him.
Local elected officials and advocates say the man who was detained is here legally on a work permit and had a court.
Having a work permit doesn't give you the right to be here. Blue states are giving out work permits like candy. Work permits do not give you authorization. It doesn't automatically give you legal residency or obviously not citizenship. It's not even a visa. A work permit is not equivalent to legal status. Okay? It is not equal. Anybody with a working permit doesn't mean that they can live here. That doesn't mean you're illegal to be here. You're still an illegal and ICE can deport you. FYI, that's why this guy was arrested and deported. The ICE agents know the law better than you. Okay? DHS, Kristi Noem knows the law better than you. This reporter, okay? They don't know anything.
Date with immigration.
I want everybody who's watching this to understand that we are all in danger.
No, you're in danger, B. You're in danger because your ass doesn't belong in this country. Go back to Mexico. That's where you belong. Okay? Then look at this uppity hoe over here trying to tell me about how I'm in danger. I'm not in danger. This is my country. ICE is doing my will and the will of the other foundational Americans who don't want you here. Go eat some tacos in your own freaking country. This is not your land, and you will never be safe here. We're going to drag all of you out of here.
Today it is us. Tomorrow it is other people.
Yeah, it's going to be other foreigners. It's going to be you, and then it's going to be other foreigners. We don't want any of you here. You have nothing to do with this country. You don't belong here. Get out. You have your own countries, but you seem to think you have a right to break into my house built by my ancestors. You don't. You don't. And you can cry all you want. We're still going to ship all of you out of here. Cry, cry, cry. All right, next video.
At several Northside locations, federal agents making arrests were met by community members, and at least one encounter ended in a cloud of tear gas. The midday confrontation pit Lakeview neighbors against masked federal agents. The face-to-face encounter ending with volleys of tear gas.
Yeah, this boy, he's risking a baton to the head or some pepper spray in his eyes, which is exactly what he deserves. Okay, looks like some kind of Armenian. You're going to be going back to Armenia in a second. Okay, keep talking. Look at him. He's in the ICE agent's face saying, oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. You're literally obstructing. If you're touching that agent, that is a violation of 18 U.S. Code 111. You're obstructing the ICE agent from doing his job. Okay, they should arrest him immediately and turn him over to the FBI, and the DOJ should file charges. But the Pam Bondi is failing at a massive level. Okay, when you don't prosecute these people, they're going to keep getting in the way and the faces of the ICE agent. They're going to try to keep obstructing more and more. And that's what's happening. I told them in the beginning, I gave him a chance. I said, let's give him some time. Let's see what Pam Bondi does. She's not doing it. She's not doing it just because she lost a couple cases where grand juries refused to indict these people because they're bleeding heart, open borders idiots, apparently, like in California and it's like one other state. Now they're afraid to charge these protesters. Pam Bondi is failing at a massive level when it comes to immigration. She was doing great in the beginning, and I gave her a lot of credit if you watch my earlier videos, because I'm always fair. But if you're failing on immigration, I'm going to come after you. The U.S. attorney in New York is also failing. Anybody who's not arresting these people and charging them is failing, because they're going to keep getting in your face. Next, they're going to start doing more violence on you. They're already throwing rocks at your cars. We've seen that from the beginning since LA. If you don't punish it, you're sending the message that there's no punishment. There's no repercussions for attacking ICE agents. So they're just going to do it more and more. What do you think is going to happen? You think the problem will magically solve itself? No, it's going to get worse if you don't address it.
Volleys of tear gas, sending this residential block spiraling into chaos.
My eyes were burning. It did not feel great. They still burn a bit today. There were some neighbors bringing out water for us to flush out our eyes.
Courtney Conway among dozens of residents who confronted agents near Lakewood and Henderson after a construction worker at a home was arrested. We blurred his face pending any charges. Doorbell camera video shows agents rolling up and workers who'd been having lunch running for cover. One closes and braces against a gate as agents try to push through. Another is helped through a window to elude agents.
You have no permission to be on my property.
Of Northside ICE activity. In Bucktown, a gardener arrested in front of a home where the owner says he'd been hired to plant a tree.
I just asked them not to arrest him. I said, please leave him alone. And, you know, they didn't. I believe they took his phone and then they took him.
Heavily armed.
Yeah, Mrs. German here hired an illegal. She should be arrested along with the illegal. Okay, you're lucky your ass isn't in jail, Grandma. So be thankful and shut up too while you're at it. Now she's talking to the media. Look at the brazenness of these people. Okay, they think they're safe. Don't think you just because you're pale, you're safe. Okay, you break the law, you're going to get arrested too. Well, with the DOJ as it is now, maybe you won't. Okay, who knows? Okay, Kash Patel's a dumbass and Pam Bondi is failing as well. So Trump needs to get his house in order because we got a lot of holes here that are not being filled.
I asked them not to arrest him. I said, please leave him alone. And you know, they didn't. I believe they took his phone and then they took
Why in the world would they leave some illegal alone? What the hell how come you have so little respect for yourself and your country? These disgusting taco eating little bastards. Why do you think that they have a right to break in here? And why do you think that we're not going to arrest them just because you say so? You're lucky your ass wasn't arrested.
You know, they didn't. I believe they took his phone and then they took him.
Heavily armed agents also arresting a man sitting in a vehicle who witnesses say works at a nearby car dealership.
It's terrifying, and we knew that they were going to come to Bucktown. They've been all over the city.
Those agents later seen driving.
Yeah, the only one terrified is you, and I don't think even you are terrified. She claims to be. You know, why are you terrified? Criminals are being arrested in your area. You should be happy. This is what I'm talking about. These people have no respect for their own borders. They don't, because that's what you're saying when you say that people who illegally invaded this country shouldn't be arrested. Every single one of these protesters are open borders people who think that anybody gets to violate our borders and we can't do anything about it, which means they don't believe in America. They don't believe in a country because you can't have a country without sovereignty, without strong borders. Otherwise, everything is just blending into each other. That's the kind of world they want. They want one world order where everybody's the same, everything is a melting pot. That is disgusting, and I'll do everything in my power. I will die fighting against that kind of world. I don't want that. I want now blurred lines, and clear differentiation between groups of people. Okay, that's the way that nature has created things, and that's the way things should be. I'm against a one world or one religion or any of this other nonsense. Our uniqueness matters. The uniqueness of everybody on this planet matters, and everything should be kept separate the way it's been created. That is my ideology.
Driving around vehicles that had stopped and clipping a woman. The alderman reporting other incidents of dangerous driving.
We saw them backing up into intersections where we've got daycare children walking across the street. You've got mothers.
Oh, what about the children? Here goes with the kids. If you want the ICE agents to not drive fast, tell crowds to not get in the way of ICE arrests. The reason they're driving fast out of there is because people are trying to stop them and physically attack them, alderman.
Of Bucktown Wicker Park schools to keep kids inside for recess, leaving some parents unsettled.
Why? It's a peaceful, beautiful Friday.
Messages.
Why? Because we're trying to clean up your neighborhood, redhead. That's why.
DHS regarding those Northside operations were not returned. In Lakeview, Eric Hong, ABC 7.
Yeah, they're not going to return anything. These people, man, they are horrible. People who claim to be American, people who hold our citizenship, but who have no loyalty to America. They care more about Mexico than they care about Americans. Okay, it's disgusting. But nevertheless, it is hilarious to see how ineffectual they are. No matter what they do, no matter how many times they interfere, the illegals get arrested anyways, and eventually they'll be deported. But it does slow down the particular operation that they're doing, so in congregate, it probably slows down the ability of the ICE agents to do more operations that day because they have to deal with all these disgusting crowds who are trying to stop them from administering the federal law. Okay, that's the only bad thing about it. Just thinking about it logically. But they still arrest them. It's basically slows down their work. That's the only negative thing that's happening, which is not good. Obviously, that means it slows down their pace. And I guess in a way they're achieving what they want to do, which is slow things down. But the specific people that they're coming after, they get arrested anyways. In the aggregate, I think the protesters are getting some of what they want, but mostly they're losing because hundreds of thousands of them have been deported. Millions are self-deporting, have already self-deported, more than 2 million at this point. And it'll be more and more because of the tactics they're using. And I want them to be terrorized. Okay, they call it terrorist tactics, whatever. We're going to use whatever tactics we need to get these people out of here because their feet should not be touching our ground in the first place. They're not just touching our ground. They're taking our jobs. They're taking our hospital space. They're taking our school scholarships, school spots from American kids, opportunities away from American workers. You name it, emergency rooms, you name it, everywhere in a society. If their illegals are present, they're taking our resources. That's just a given. That's just a logical fact. People need things wherever they live. And if they're taking it in our country, they're taking it from us. Because if they weren't using it, we would be using it. Okay? That's just a basic fact of reality. And people can deny it all they want, but everybody knows it's true. Okay? And the left is okay with it. They're willing to lose resources for Americans to help foreigners. I am not. That's the major difference. These leftists hate America and Americans and think we should sacrifice ourselves for foreigners. That's the fundamental difference between the conservative point of view on immigration and the liberal point of view on immigration. I'm on the conservative side. This country is not for them. They have nothing coming to them here. Or they shouldn't. They have something coming to them here because bleeding heart open borders people have given it to them. But they shouldn't have anything coming to them here because this is not their country. They have no right to be here, let alone use our resources. And that's all I gotta say for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you guys in my next one.